Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dusk Devotional. Today is June 29th, and today's topic is the eighth day in the Fruits of the Spirit unit. Now, I'm sure you all know what I do in the Fruits of the Spirit unit. We talk about each one of the fruits of Spirit incrementally as the days go on, and we read through Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 to 23, and dive deep into the virtues that are shown in the fruits of the Spirit. Now, for today, Galatians 5:22-23 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering or patience, gentleness or kindness, goodness, faith or faithfulness, meekness," or the other copies call it gentleness. Meekness is interesting. I say that because a lot of people tend to have a misconception about meekness. And that misconception usually stems from they think that meekness is being weak or totally submissive, but that's really only the tiniest fraction of what meekness really is. Because, yes, it is submissiveness, but it's also humility and it's also a patient reliance on God. Now, relying on God is not being weak. Rather, it actually takes strength, more strength than you might think, because to rely on God for each of our circumstances instead of relying on ourselves, which is usually what people tend to do in circumstances, does take quite the inner strength. Because not only are you, not only do you have what is essentially the courage to say, in this situation, let your will be done and not mine, which really just means that what I want should not come ahead of your will. And that kind of humility, that kind of reliance, that takes a kind of strength. So, in that sense, meekness or gentleness is, in essence, one of the strongest things that you could have, even if it may not seem like so. Now you can call that the big takeaway for this episode. So I'm gonna ask you to bow our head and close our eyes. I'm gonna say a good prayer. We're gonna close off the night. Dear Heavenly Gracious Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for health, happiness, safety. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you so much for sending your son to pay the price that we deserve, Lord. I pray for people who I pray for people who struggle with humility, they struggle with relying on you. Instead, they want to take full command of every situation. They want to take full command, even if it's vastly out of their control. Or for these people, I pray that they can practice humility and they can find you in a way they may have never found you before. So, Lord, I hope this video reaches people that needs to reach and they may inspire to do great things in your name, Lord Jesus. And I pray, amen. That's it for the Daily Dose Devotional. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.